questions from journalists. So if you want to ask a question first because you already listened to the sermon, okay, Jonah Freeman, you want to ask?
Yeah.
Okay, go ask.
So I listened to you. You express fear about land disputes in Liberia. If nothing is not done by national government, Liberia may go back to a path. I want to know what your fear is all about. The land dispute did not make specific reference to county. But then last day you reiterated a call for government to ensure that the Muslims holiday is entered into law. Last day, Muslims around the globe end the month of Ramadan today. The unfolding event in Israel, between Israel and Pakistan. More than 65 persons now have died as a result of the incident there, the scrap there. So what is your advice now to the international community and the UN as a whole? What sort of advice do you have as head of the Muslim in Liberia?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. First of all, the first thing that I want to say, I will say it to Almighty Allah, the Creator, who has the control over the heart and behavior of people. We have included the problem that are going around the world to Almighty Allah, so Almighty God can provide a solution for each of them, whether they local owned or international owned. The one that going on in Palestine, we disagree with it, we condemn it. We don't want any religious site or any mosque or church around the world should be attacked by anybody, be it the authority or individual. Because according to the Al-Quran Al-Karim, Allah said that the churches and canons and the mosque must be protected from anybody's hand. So for somebody to go fire in the mosque or church anywhere, we condemn it. But what to say to the UN, I'm not a proper person to talk to the UN on behalf of Liberia. Liberia have a central government, they can say it, but we can see our feeling to the government of that. Concerning the land dispute in Liberia, we are giving our advices to the government, prior advices. We know the people are angry, and people deserve to be angry if your own property be taken away from you, just because you are this, you are that. And that anger may lead them to react with violence in order for them to get their laws right or to retaliate about that. This is why we want the government to look keenly to the land dispute in Liberia regarding the country. I'm not talking about a specific country, even though the problem is going on some countries, but I'm talking about all over Liberia. The second thing, the Muslims holiday business is something that we start to demand it officially in 1984. From 1984, we present that issue to the Sameke government. In 1992-93, we submit it to the capital building by the late Sheikh Abdullah Bone so that they can approve it and give the holiday to the Muslims. During my early Johnson time, also we demand it, but up to now, there's no positive response to it. And also, during this regime, the regime of President George Weah, he called us to the dinner. During this dinner, he approved to us that he has no control over the legislature, but the only thing he can do, he will allow his government to permit all the civil servant workers to be absent in the prayer day, and he will talk to the lawmakers so that they can prepare a bill and pass for the favor. But since that happened, 3 years now passed, and the children are mobilizing themselves secretly, time to time, and the children are angry. Even though we can stop them from using the violence, from using the demonstration to get the right, but we want the government to consult with the relevant people. They will not wait for the violence to come before they provide a solution.
Yes.
Okay, wait, please go ahead.
Yes, my name is Augustine Tito and I write for Front Page Africa newspaper. One question people been asking is the issue of the Ramadan date. Is that set? If the government were to ask you to choose a date for this day, what could be your preferred date? Because it doesn't have a set date.
He said, if the government will ask us, what are the days that we should show to the government to be the holiday? We will say the 1st of Shawwal in the Islamic lunar calendar and the 10th of Zulhijjah in the Islamic lunar calendar, and the Liberia government should imitate the rest of the world who are giving the holiday to the Muslim of their country.
Excuse me. My name is Yaman Zig. I work for New Liberia newspaper. How do you feel today as you break Ramadan?
Alhamdulillah, this Ramadan, according to my 30 years observation, this Ramadan is the best Ramadan that ever we observed in Liberia. In terms of the unity between the Muslims and understanding between one another. And the Muslims, they have to make their strategy, how they can make their things be good. And they have a serious strategy in this Ramadan to unify themselves and to get all their rights as soon as possible, and that is an indoor strategy, cannot be said to the journalists.
My name is Pius, I report for ABC Radio. The issue of ritualistic killing in Liberia is on the increase, a lot of it across the country. What is your call to the Liberian government regarding the ritualistic killing?
Really, the Muslims in our religion, killing the people is one of the major sins in Islam. I don't think the good Muslim can involve or incite anybody towards killing the soul. Killing soul, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Holy Quran, Man qatala nafsan bighayri nafsin fakannama qatala nasa jami'a. Whosoever kills one soul, he will be charged just like you have killed entire nation. So it is not something easy. We want the security to be strengthened, and our national police and other security people have to be empowered so that they can be able to have a control over security to protect the life and the property of people.
Yeah, Sheikh, my name is Yukmini Masale. I work for Sky Communications, Sky FM and Sky TV. I'm concerned about the children, the Muslim children that you talk about, students that are going to various schools in and around Monrovia. You call upon the Ministry of Education or the government through the Ministry of Education to give holidays for children, Muslim children that are going to various schools for them to take part into Ramadan today. Does that call you, your expectation today? Is that Muslim children are not going to school today, they took part into the Ramadan?
I didn't have a statistic. I don't have a statistic yet. But after the Ramadan, we'll go and view and know whether that law will responded or not. Then we'll go back to the government to make it more serious for it. But we want to say to UN, UNICEF, we want to call on to UN and UNICEF that some children of Liberia, their rights are being violated because of their religious affiliation. If they go to prayer, they can be demoted undeservedly. If the Liberian government can't do something against it, if the Liberian Ministry of Education cannot take any step towards it, we will prepare it to UNICEF, the UN. If that one fails, inshallah, we can go to another authority again. But we believe our government will not fail to convince the Ministry of Education to give that instruction to the various schools in Liberia.
Okay, the last question from you. The last question.
From National newspaper. Check. I would like to know, since 1984, we have been pleading for this holiday to be granted, to be constituted by the Liberian government. Is the Liberian Muslim community let me say, they are not comfortable for being exempted in this country.
It is clear, as your people know, the first constitution in Liberia was 1837. The second constitution, 1847. Another constitution was 1984. During all those, the first constitution, when the Spaniards arrived in Liberia, they only mentioned the churches in the constitution. They excluded the mosque. That was one of the major errors that caused Muslims to be silent in this issue. So from that time up to now, the Muslim people, they believe not to have their right with violence. This is why it lasts like this. When the other people, they can go with the violence, all their right be given to them. And we the Muslims, we don't want to bypass our principle, except in the case of necessity.
All right, thank you so much, sir.
Your final message, Sheikh. Your final message.
My final message, congratulations to all of you. Thank you very much. You both thank the President for us. The President has given us huge food, and also he gave us good statement for our greeting.
Thank you.
That was the voice of the Grand Mufti of